Okay, I'm going to be reading a story for one of my classes. The story's name is The Squirron. Squirron. Squirron is a combination of squirrel plus lion. Squirron. Okay, I'm going to read this fairly slowly, and I'm going to try to enunciate very clearly. Here we go. Dr. S was a botanist. One day, while he was out walking, he happened to drop in at the home of a zoologist friend of his, Dr. K. "I haven't seen you for a long time. How are you? Are you busy as always?" he greeted his friend. Dr. K was delighted to see him and invited him in. "I've just finished the first stage of my research. I'd like to show it to you. Please come in." "What is it?" asked Dr. S. "A squirron," said Dr. K, looking out into his garden. Just then an animal came bounding up to the house. It was an animal he had never seen before, about the size of a cat, yellowish in color, with a large bushy tail. It looked rather cute. "I've never seen an animal like this before. I've never seen an animal like this before. Where did you find it?" "I didn't catch it anywhere. It's a cross I bred myself." "What did you cross?" "A squirrel and a lion. That's why I've called it a squirron," explained Dr. K. Sure enough, it bore a resemblance to both. Dr. S stared at it in astonishment. "This is amazing, but what made you do it?" "I was curious to find out what would happen if I crossed the strongest of the animals, the king of the beasts, with the small and lovable squirrel." "You've gone to a lot of trouble, I can see. Academically, it will have enormous value. But does it have any other benefits?" Dr. K nodded and stroked the animal's head. "Yes, it does. It combines the best characteristics of each animal. It's as tame as a squirrel towards its master and as brave as a lion towards an enemy." Amazing. As you can see, it makes a splendid pet, and it's more effective than the ordinary watchdog. It will drive off any robber. I took it with me on my recent expedition, and no dangerous animal dared approach it because it's... Let me do that again. As you can see, it makes a splendid pet, and it's more effective than the ordinary watchdog. It will drive off any robber. I took it with me on my recent expedition, and no dangerous animal dared approach it because it smells like a lion. So I could sleep peacefully at night. Dr. S returned home full of admiration for his friend, but he realized that there was no point in envying him. He made up his mind to direct his own research onto similar lines and bring out a new species of plant. What should it be? After a lot of thought, a gleam came into his eyes. "That's it! I'll produce a cross between a grape and a melon. A plant on which melons grow as plentifully as grapes. I'll call it a grelon. I'm sure it will be profitable." He shut himself in his hothouse and worked fiendishly, eventually producing a new sort of seed. Right then, sprout quickly, my little grelon." The grelon grew rapidly. Finally, it produced its first fruit. But Dr. S scratched his head in frustration. The fruit was small in size and few in number. Imitating others does not necessarily lead to success. He plucked a fruit and put it in his mouth. It had a sour taste. The end.